how I booked the Hairspray National Tour. I was actually not gonna talk about this. Oh, it's kind of harsh. I need to get a BFA. Do I need to go to college for musical theater? Rejection. Oh, best audition tip. Favorite role that you've ever played? Oh my God. I guess I can officially say, welcome back to my channel. Y'all have requested more long form videos from me. I really want to create more long form videos for you. As you guys know, I graduated college about a month ago, and it's one of my biggest goals to really start getting this channel up and running. So today we're kicking it off. I'm answering all of your burning questions. I asked you all questions on my Instagram and my YouTube. Let's get started. We are gonna start out with a question that I actually got asked quite a bit. Hairspray Experience and how you got booked. If you're new here, I was on the Broadway National Tour of Hairspray last year. I'm gonna tell you about my honest experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I made some of my very best friends. I loved the show. I loved the creative team. I loved that, like, we got to go to so many cool places. I think we went to like 43 different cities across the United States and Canada. Actually, so many of you guys got to watch it. Absolutely loved my experience on the Hairspray tour. As for how I booked it, I'll give you the gist. I just sent in a 32-bar cut. I sent in a tape to a casting director, and the casting director reached back out to me and was like, do you have a dance reel? And I was like, here's my dance reel, take it please. So yeah, they asked me to come into New York City. So I was in New York for around a week. My very first audition in New York, I got called in to sing for the casting director. And then after that, I got called into like a huge, massive dance call. Oh my God. What happened? I got an offer for... I'm literally filming a YouTube video right now. Oh my God. Oh my God, I gotta call mom. Mom's gonna freak out. I got an offer.
Oh my God.
I literally can't believe it. I can't believe I'm gonna be working at...
Do you want to sit back?
Hell yeah!
Alright, bye.
Bye.
First of all, you can do something really cool with that footage.
So it is the next day. I'm sorry, I needed like a second to process everything that happened. Basically, I'm really excited to share this one with y'all. Also, like, I really don't mean to be gatekeeping. Typically when you get an offer, you are not allowed to share what it is until the theater announces it. A lot of the time the theater likes to do a press release. I promise you I will share as soon as I can, and I think y'all are gonna be really excited about this one. So back to the Q&A. We were talking about how I booked the Hairspray National Tour. So we left off after the first dance call. Fun fact, I really did not expect to be in New York for as long as I was. So much so that I didn't even pack multiple dance call outfits. I literally packed one dance call outfit, and I wore that dance call outfit to multiple dance calls. After that dance call, I started getting called in for a different track than I was previously getting called in for. I remember having to learn like a whole bunch of material really fast, like less than 24 hours. I had to learn 3 songs and 2 sides, I believe. So then I started going in for the actual creative team. So not the casting directors. The creative team is like the director, the music director, the choreographer, the assistant music director, assistant director, people like actually casting the show. Whereas the casting directors kind of bring in people that they think the creative team might like. If you want me to go more in depth on like what every audition looked like, I actually like have footage from all the different days. So I feel like I could put together like a whole video on this audition process. But I remember leaving the audition, and I feel like this is the best feeling after an audition. Like, I didn't know if I got it or not, but I do remember feeling like I left it all out there for them. Like, if I don't get the job, I don't regret, obviously I don't regret the audition experience, but like I don't regret how I did. I put it all out there for them, so it's like it's in their hands now, which is a really scary feeling. Why am I getting emotional? And then I got the offer like I think a couple days later, which was kind of crazy. I feel like we talked a lot about like career highlights so far. I want to keep it so real with y'all. As much as I talk about the highs, I also want to talk about the lows. I got a couple questions about how I deal with rejection. Rejection's part of the industry. If you want to be a performer, you are going to need to learn how to deal with rejection. When I first started talking about rejection on the internet, I kind of felt like a little bit of like shame admitting that I've been rejected. So I really I want to take the shame out of this conversation and say I get rejected all the time. It is part of being an actor. Guess what? Every single actor that you look up to, every Broadway performer, every Tony Award winning actor has been rejected. I actually I vividly remember the feeling of like my first horrible, miserable, gut-wrenching rejection. I was in high school. I wish that I had someone to tell me the things that I know now, so I'm going to hopefully be that person for you. First thing that I will say about rejection is that it gets so much easier as time goes on. In the stage of my career where I am now, the easiest thing for me to like move on from a rejection is to just move on to another audition. But if you have like a really heartbreaking audition or a really heartbreaking rejection, this is my favorite way to deal with it. It's called the 24-hour rule. In the first 24 hours of learning about the rejection, you have to set a timer for 24 hours. And in these 24 hours, you are allowed to grieve, kick, scream, cry, throw your tripod across the room, gossip with your mom about it. And once that timer goes up, you have to move on. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps and move on to the next audition. That has been a rule that has honestly really helped me. Do I think Leucas are worth the price? Ugh. If you don't know what Leucas are, they are essentially like the fancy schmancy bougie character shoes of Broadway. I will say this, I do love my Leucas. Do I regret purchasing them? No. I get so much use out of my Leucas. Do I think that you need to have Leucas in order to pursue this industry? No, that's crazy. I will say like I love the quality of Leucas, but there are plenty of places that you can get really nice character shoes. I know a lot of people really like Capezios, are a little bit more affordable. I have tried blocks before too. I have had a problem though with like the stopper of the heel falling off on them, so do with that what you will. If you are going to invest, absolutely love the Alexis. You see they're very loved. I would say that's like a great like staple go-to. If you're looking to like dance your face off, the boots seem to be what everyone is wearing in dance calls. These are actually a slightly newer, you can kind of see. I bought these maybe like a year ago. I've worn them to a lot of dance calls and also did my first swing job in these bad boys. That was a really heavy dance show, so. Pre-show rituals. Okay, my favorite pre-show rituals on the Hairspray National Tour was like right before everyone got into their places. If you know Hairspray at all, Tracy wakes up in her bed and she sings Good Morning Baltimore. We would always tell whoever was playing Tracy that night, we would be like, good night, don't let the bed bugs bite. Always tell her good night before she woke up on stage in front of thousands of people. Can you imagine? I feel like I used to be really superstitious about pre-show rituals. It used to be like, oh my god, I have to park in the same parking spot every night. That is less the case now. Oh, there's nothing that beats like getting ready and yapping in a dressing room with your besties. Like, nothing tops that feeling. Also, I will say like I never miss a warm-up. I never ever miss warming up my voice. One, like warm up your voices, people, but also for me it's like, I don't know, it's some sort of like, it gives me peace and comfort to like warm up. I don't know. People are asking what is your dream role and what is your favorite role that you've ever played. I would say Catherine Plummer in Newsies. I absolutely loved that show. Also like Catherine's such a princess trap. Catherine was my big first like professional principal role. That also holds a special place in my heart. I would play her again in a heartbeat. I'd say like a close second, I loved Ocean and Ride the Cyclone. That was just such a fun role. Dream roles. I feel like I have a lot of dream roles. One of them I just announced. I'm playing Sarah Brown in Guys and Dolls this summer, which I'm so excited about because I get to take y'all along the entire process with me. And now that I'm like, I've got my camera all set up, like y'all are gonna like basically get to come through the process with me. Roles that I haven't played that I want to. Zoe in Dear Evan Hansen is such a dream role. And then also like, I would say Anna in Frozen. Like I would love to play Anna in Frozen. Those are kind of shows that are like being done in regional theaters right now, so they're probably like what's top of mind, but I'm sure that there's more. Oh, Favorite stage makeup products. There's a lash on this, hold on. I love the ColourPop palettes. I use this palette for Brenda every single night. What I love about these is that one, they're like super affordable. This is one that I just use on like an everyday basis. They have literally any color story that you could ever need. So like if you're playing a role that needs like purple or red or pink or blue or yellow or literally any color, they have it. Whatever your makeup plot is for the show, like ColourPop's gonna have it. And also it stays on throughout the whole show, which oh my God, don't get me started. I hate when my makeup is like fading throughout the show. I'm like, you can't even last 3 hours? It's kind of harsh. I did an entire series on my page dedicated to finding the best lipstick for stage makeup so that you don't have to. You can go back on my shorts or my and you can see me try them out. To make a long story short, my favorite is the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. Where is my L'Oreal? It's probably in a bag somewhere because I actually use it. Love the L'Oreal liquid lipsticks. I'll put up a little picture right here. But if you're looking for more of like a liquid lipstick vibe, I would recommend this. And then if you're looking for a stain, love the Milani. I was actually not gonna talk about this. A lot of people are asking questions about it. So let's get into all the questions you have about musical theater in college. I feel like I need to give my quick little like debrief of my college experience. I just graduated in May, but I went into college as a double major. So I was a double major in theater and business. I stayed a double major for my freshman and my sophomore year. And then the summer of my junior year, but right before my junior year, I booked the Hairspray National Tour. So I decided what was best for me was to take a leave of absence from college for the year that I was gonna be on tour, because I figured that school would always be there for me. Like I could always go back to school if I wanted to, but that opportunity was not gonna be there forever. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity and either I took it or I didn't. I decided what was best for me was to take a leave of absence from college for the year. While I was on tour, I took some online classes, and when I was done touring and I was ready to come back to school, I had two choices. I could either stay for 2 more years and finish up my double major, or I could drop one of my majors and graduate on time. One thing to mention about my school's theater department, and also like lots of theater departments, this is not like specific to my school, but they don't want you really working outside of the department, and that was kind of a negative for me. I wanted to work professionally while I was back at school for that year. So my senior year, I finished up my business degree and I did 2 professional shows in that year. I was a swing at Zach, and then I got to originate a role in a new play, which is really cool. So the play was called Anton Chekhov is a Tasty Snack, and I originated the role of Elena / ingenue. What I chose was what was best for me. Honestly, I got a lot of questions asking me, do I need to get a BFA? Do I need to go to college for musical theater? What I will say about BFAs is that they are incredible training. You get amazing connections, amazing networking opportunities. If you're looking for that, I think BFA is a great option. Do you need it though to succeed? No. I work in places with people who have BFAs and they're absolutely incredible and amazing and so talented. And then I also work in those same places with people that don't have BFAs and are also so amazing and so talented. So that's what I have to say about that. I will say though, like I got such great training in college. I took voice lessons every single week. I had great dance classes. I loved my acting classes. I don't know, I think you have to do what's best for you. How did you balance school and a national tour? I was not a full-time student while I was on tour, but I did take classes to kind of keep me on track. Completely online. They were what's called asynchronous. So basically like you can do the work kind of like at your own pace. My saving grace for those classes was Mondays. Our schedule on tour and like a typical Broadway schedule or a schedule at regional theaters, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you get Mondays off. And on tour, you're traveling on those Mondays. So if we were on a bus, I would literally just crank out my work there. If we were at an airport, I would do it on the airplane. I will say, like, looking back, that's kind of hard because like, you really don't get a day off. Musical theater pet peeves. This is my biggest one. Are you ready? The word casted doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. The past tense of cast is cast. What are the parts about being on a national tour that no one talks about / no one knows about? The 2 like hardest things for me about tour life was, one, I really missed being home and like seeing my family, being away from my non-theater boyfriend, being away from like your life back at home that's hard. The second thing that was like more difficult. You live out of different hotels for a whole year. So because you're living in hotels, you don't, well, sometimes we had kitchens, but most of the time you don't have a kitchen in your hotel room. Having access to food. I literally DoorDashed probably every single one of my meals. There's probably a much smarter way of doing it, but like, I'm just being so for real. We did go grocery shopping sometimes, but like, your fridge is so tiny. Like, that is a hard part about tour that no one talks about. Favorite costume? I'm gonna pop up some of my all-time favorite costumes on the screen right now. Comment down below which one is your fave. This wig is so iconic. Someone also asked, are the mics in your wigs heavy? Not really. I don't really think I noticed it, but I will say this wig, so heavy. It literally had a bird cage inside of it, like a full-on like metal cage. So that was kind of crazy. A lot of people are kind of asking about auditioning. What's your #1 best audition tip? I've started to kind of shift my mindset into like enjoying auditioning. Like, auditioning is fun. It's a chance to get to perform for people. This is kind of a more technical tip, but the first thing to go in an audition is your breath support. So right before I go into an audition, I really practice my big belly diaphragm breaths. Remind yourself like what it's like to breathe properly, and also those big deep breaths are gonna kind of help calm you down too. Something else I've been doing to kind of shift my mindset in the room, instead of thinking of the panel of people behind the table as like these big scary people that are like judging you. I know this sounds weird, but I used to put so much pressure on like these people behind the table, but the truth is like they are just people and they're just trying to cast a show, and they want you to do well too. Like, the people behind the table are rooting for you. They want talented people in their show. Oh, and one more thing. The #1 way for me to alleviate nerves when I'm auditioning is to be so prepared on the material that you're bringing in, because then you're not nervous about like forgetting the lyrics, or like you can really focus on like the performance and like the audition experience rather than like, oh my god, I don't think I remember. I hope you guys like this video. I leave for my next contract in 2 weeks, so the road to Sarah Brown begins. If you have video ideas for that, let me know. And yeah, as always, I'm rooting for you.